It's your boy More Fades, and we back with another haircut tutorial. As you can see, my client, he have a lot of hair, so we're gonna have a lot of fun with this one. He is going to be getting a modern mullet with a skin taper on the sides. He wants to go a little bit shorter on the top, take down some length in the back, but also add some texture as well, and we're gonna be layering it out. So let's jump right into the video. To start the video off, I'm just gonna start by just combing out the client's hair in the direction that it is growing. And dealing with haircuts like this, when you are seeing a lot of hair, it's good to always comb it out in the direction that it is growing. And when we really start to saturate the hair and start to get way more control of everything. So now we're just going to saturate the client's hair. And you want to fully saturate it. You want to make sure the hair is pretty much wet as possible. And this just allowing me to have way more control over the hair. And this haircutting system that I'm going to be using is inspired by the DFS formula by Barber Josh OP. This is my client crown, and you can see how the hair, it naturally wants to grow. It almost going in a swirl. So this is where we're going to start our first initial part, going right down. So I'm just going to take my comb, and I'm just going to go right through. I'm going to stop halfway, and then I'm just going to continue to just follow, going right through. Then we're gonna disconnect the fringe area as well. We're gonna put that up. We're gonna clip this hair out the way. Now we want to separate the sides from the back now. So I'm going to come right behind the ear. We're gonna make our section. We're going to comb this hair frontwards, and we're gonna pull this back. And just to make everything nice and neat, we're just gonna clip this hair right out the way. All that we really have to worry about now is the back of the hair. So my client, he want to bring his tail in a lot more. He wanted to be a little bit up, like on his neck area, and he don't want so much hang time coming down. And I'm gonna find where his natural hair is, like all them little baby hairs. That is where I'm going to place that first bottom guide. And now I'm just going to cut. And now I'm able to just follow that guide going straight across. And you can see where my guide is. So before I even cut anything, I'm making sure that I see my guide. I just don't want to be cutting hair just to cut it. So if I can't see my guide, I just go back and reset and find it. There go my guide. Now I'm able to cut. There go my guide. So now I'm able to cut. As I'm coming around, I still want this to be like a little rounded shape. So I'm not going to pull this hair straight like this. We're going to come out, and we actually are going to round it. We're going to round it right out. This is also going to allow this hair not to just stick right up. It's going to be the appropriate length set right there. So that is where we're going to cut. So now I'm just going to pull this straight up. All this hair, we are going to cut. Now I'm going to make another section. We're still working on the top. I'm going to pull this hair up, and you're going to see my guide that I just set in right there. So now I am cool to cut. Pull the hair up. There's my guide. Now I can cut. And now when this hair falls, you can see nothing is spiking up, and it's laying exactly where I want it to lay, right on my client's right on the back of his head. Now we're just going to pull the hair straight up, and there go my guide. So now I'm able to cut. Pull the hair straight up. There go my guide. So now I am okay to cut. So now I really wanted to just focus on working on one side of the head at a time. So now I'm just gonna come and just make a part right down the middle. We're gonna comb this over to the side because we just don't want to deal with that right now. I'm gonna pull it straight out. And now you can see that guide that I set in from the top guide. So we are going to come in now, and we are just going to point cut this right off. The reason why I am point cutting, because I want to add texture. I just don't want to just cut it straight across. We want this to be nice and texture in the back, nice and fluffy. And we're just gonna follow this going straight down. And you can see my guide is right here, and we are going to point cut it off once again. And we're just gonna follow this going right down. You can see how that guide is just always there. We're gonna point cut it right off. Guide, cut. And now we're gonna continue to just making our small little sections again. And you're just gonna see the same results. Once you see the guide, you are okay to cut.
Make sure everything's cool. Yeah, man. You're working on that.
Especially with haircuts like these, like you really don't want to rush them because you want your cuts to be nice and even. My client wanted a medium skin taper. We are going to start creating graduation right down to the skin because we're going to fade right into it. And once we create our graduation right to the skin, we're going to start elevating out towards our chest to keep more length. Now that I am skin tight, now I'm able to cut this right here. But I'm not going to go all the way through. I'm going to stop it. So now my clipper work is going to come right into the graduation. So now I'm going to come back to that same guide. And now instead of going skin tight, now I'm going to start elevating out more so towards my chest. Now, when you really look, now when I grab the hair and then I pull it out, now you see my guide. That is the guide from our top guideline. So now I can cut. I'm just going to elevate it right out towards my chest. Right when I see my guide, there go the guide, and there go the guide. So now I can cut. So now we want to connect the sides to everything else. Make a diagonal part, comb everything down, and I'm going to be using the finer teeth of the comb so I can get a better grip. If I was to be using the wide tooth, it's going to be hard for me to pull everything together. So as long as I'm using the fine teeth, I should be able to grip the hair a lot better. So now this is my guide right at the bottom that I created with the block graduation. So now we're just going to cut that. We're going to come up and we're going to cut this as well. So now we're going to make another section. We're going to put everything down. You're going to see my guide, which is right there. Just going to cut a little piece. And we're just going to follow this going straight up. And now you can see the flow that we have made. And we're just going to fade right into this. We're just going to fade right into that graduation. Now we're just going to be repeating the same exact steps on this side. You're going to start to see the guide. There it is right here, and there go the guide as well. Now I can cut. There go the guide, and we are going to cut. So I'm just going to pick up that hair right on my guide. I know it's right there, so now I'm able to cut this. I'm gonna pull it straight out, and I'm gonna find my guide. There go my guide, now I can cut. Now that we have the back cut, and we had the sides cut and everything connected, now it's time to cut the top. So my client, he does want a lot of hair cut off the front. So we are going to go for like a combover look, shorter, but not this long. So still what I'm going to do, of course, we're going to give him a shower. Giving him a shower is really important. You gotta have to give your client showers. But I'm still going to come in, we're going to come right down the middle. We're going to comb this hair over to the side, and we're going to comb this hair over to the side. We're going to disconnect the fringe area. So we're going to comb that hair down. We're going to go to the other side and do the same exact thing. And if you had to cut off more hair later, you can. But we are just going to start right there. And we are going to cut. And I'm going to follow this going straight across. They go to guide. And you're going to cut. We're going to pull the hair over. And now we're going to start to connect all this hair right into all that scissor work that we did on the sides. Going to lift the hair up. Oh, look, there goes your guide. And that is to my finger lift with the block graduation. And now I can cut. And we're going to start to bring it more so towards our chest. Check for the guide. The guide is always there. I'm not cutting until I see my guide. And as I'm getting to the back, I'm elevating right to my chin. And now you can see how everything is going to be flowing. So this is going to comb right over and everything is going to flow. Now we are going to repeat the same exact steps for this side. And we are not going to cut until I see that guide right at the bottom. So there go the guide. Now all this hair can get cut. Pull it down a little bit more. Now he is getting a taper, so I do not want to cut this much of that hair. So we're gonna put that to the side. We are going to cut this. There go my guide. I can cut. So now when I start combing all this over, now you can see how everything is flowing. We're going to start to cut. Just enough for it still to comb over. But what's cool about this, I'm just gonna follow my guide. And we are going to point cut it right off. Just to add a little bit of texture up there. You're gonna always follow that guide. So now this is like the style that I really want. That's the style that I'm kind of going for, a little bit shorter on top. All right, so now I am going to be using some Tomb 45 clay, and you really don't need that much. I'm probably just going to use about like right there, and we're just going to rub it in. Now, I'm really not worried about trying to really style my client's hair right now, but I do want to blow dry it in the style that my client is going to wear. Once I get finished with all my fading and everything, then that's when I can really worry about styling the hair and really going in and refining everything and touching everything up. So we are just going to blow dry the hair right out, and I'm going to blow dry and style in the direction that the client is going to basically wear his hair. And I'm trying to just get a quick little blow dry going on. Now remember, we are not trying to get this haircut perfectly styled right now. We just want it to be in the foundation of the style of the cut. Okay, now that we have everything blow dried out into the style that my client is going to wear, now I'm just going to comb out this little area right here. Now this is where I went skin tight to the client's head. So I'm going to come in with my Tomb 45 clipper, and I'm going to start off with the number 4 guard. And we are going to start to fade right into this bulk. Now we don't want to take away it, but we want to fade right into it. And you see how I am just fading right into it. I'm staying right underneath it. So now right after the 4, we're gonna jump down to the number 3. And we're gonna stack this right underneath the number 4. And I am using the corners a lot when doing this step because I am working in a smaller area. So right when I'm done with that open, I'm gonna close it. So now we're gonna jump right down to the 2. You can see how my taper area is getting cleaned out as well. Close it. Now I'm going to come in with my Tomb 45 trimmer, and we're going to set in our first bald guideline. We're going to keep it about, let's say right there. I don't really want to set it up too high because we still want to give ourselves some room to fade. Now we're going to start fading. So I'm going to come in with no guard open, going up about 1/2 inch. Then I'm going to close it. We're going to start to tap at that bottom line. Once that line shifts, open up the lever 1 notch. Once that line shifts, open up the lever another notch, and you should be at the very top of the guideline. If the line is not out, just go back and repeat the same exact steps. Now we're going to come back with the 0.5, and we're going to start open. And we're going up about 1/2 inch as well. And I'm still using just my corners because I am working in a smaller area. And when I say I am using the corners, I mean the last 3 teeth of the blade. So I'm really focused on using just these 3 teeth when I say I'm using my corners. And I have a little bit of tilt going on as well. So now once we set that in, now we're going to start to take it out. So I go halfway in the lever, and now I'm just going to go halfway in that guideline. Once I see that line start to lighten up for me, we are going to close the lever up all the way. And now we're just going to hit the very bottom of that guideline. And you can see my transition is pretty much coming together. Now to get rid of the rest of that line that was left over, you just take off the guard, you just use the corners and remove the rest of that line that was left over from the 0.5. So now we are going to do the 1.5. We are going to clean up this line that's left over. So when I was down fading, I left off with the number 2. So this 1.5 should blend right into that number 2. Now we're going to close. Still using them corners. Now just to clean it up a little bit more, I don't want to take off too much of this weight, but I just want to make my transition a lot more smoother. So now we are going to line him up. I'm just going to line up this hair that's behind the ear, but we don't want to go too crazy. We want to keep everything nice and natural. We still want to keep everything nice and natural, so I'm just going to clear out some of this overhanging hair first. Come down with the grain, how the hair wants to naturally grow. Then we're going to start right at the bottom of the C-cup, and we're just going to take our time. Because we really want to keep this nice and natural. There's really no need to push nothing back right here, because once it starts growing back in, then it's going to start looking like a little bit crazy. Now we're going to come to this side, and we're going to repeat the same exact steps. 4, go right into it, scoop right out. And that's a technique I like to do as well. I like to go in, scoop at it, and I like to just come straight up with the clipper. Right to the number 3, close it, stacking this number 2 right underneath that number 3. Now we're gonna set in our ball guideline right at the very bottom of that C-cut. Now we're gonna fade, going up about a ½ inch, no guard open. Now we're gonna take it out, start close, tap at it. Once that shift up, open up your lever 1 notch. Once that line shift, open up your lever another notch. You should be at the very top of your guideline. The line should be out. If it's not out, just go back and repeat them same exact steps. Now we're gonna throw on the 0.5. We're gonna start open as well. Still using them corners, going up about a ½ inch. Now we're gonna go halfway in the lever. Now we want to be halfway in that guideline, still cutting the hair the way that it wants to grow. Now we're gonna close it up all the way. Now we're just gonna hit the very bottom of that line. Now we're going to throw on the 1.5 and we're just gonna clean up that line that's right here. And I know that's a 2 for sure because that is the guard that I left off with when I was down fading. So my 1.5 should fade right into it. Now I'm gonna close it, still using the corners. Now we're just gonna come in and just line him up. I'm trying to be very mindful that I am not pushing him back. Comb the hair out the way so you can see what you're doing and continue to just line it up. Before I decide to line up his C-cup area, let's remove some of this bulk right here where it's so heavy. So I'm just gonna bring the comb straight up and I'm gonna start to angle out. And that's all that bulk that we just seen. Couple snips. Couple snips. And look how that is starting to blend in. Some people will just come in and start just doing this. They will come in and start doing that. That's not what we want to do. We want to blend in where it's so heavy right here, and we want everything to flow in nice and smooth. So that's why I'm just coming in and I'm just hitting them tips. I'm bringing the comb straight in and I'm angling straight out. That's the hair right there. Now when it falls, you can see it, it's heavy. So we're gonna come in and we're just gonna just knob at it. Come in, just nod at it. And that's the flow that we are looking for. We're gonna do the same exact thing. Let's go down the way how the hair wants to grow. Start right at the bottom of the C-cup, right at the top of the vertical bar. And we just going to connect everything together. Not trying to push nothing back, not trying to force him to have like a super sharp C-cup. Now we are going to add a little bit more products to the client's hair. So I'm gonna come back with the Tune 45 clay. And I'm just gonna take a little bit of this. Now I don't really need a lot. I'm going to rub this in my hands, but then I'm going to come back with some Tune 45 texture powder as well. And I'm going to put this in my hands. And now I'm going to rub everything all together. Now I'm going to lightly start to place it in my client's hair. And this is called cocktailing products. And all I'm doing is just literally just raking this right through his hair. This is gonna add that volume from the texture powder. It's about to get crazy. Haircut is done.
Damn, that looks great.
You're like a totally new dude.
Absolutely.
Flow still going on the side, comb over like you want it. And you see how in the back, we got it nice and textured for you back there as well.
It looks great.
I got the length right there sitting nice and sexy for you. Nice and sexy.
It's 1,000 times better than it was when I came in, that's for sure.
Absolutely. First time cutting your hair, are you impressed?
Oh, 1,000%.
It's your boy Morpheus, man. That is how you do a modern mullet with the taper on the side using the DFF formula by Josh OP. It's your boy Morpheus. I see y'all in the next video and I'm out.